All right, friends, it's T-Man. We're doing a video, a Blaha again, man. Yes, the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave himself, Jason Blaha. So we're going to react to Jason Blaha's new video. What 6 exercises should you do if you have almost no time to train? Well, I don't know what you're training for, to wear your body out. What's your goal? I'm training to just train, train in the gym. Is it to train because you need to keep these, I don't know, concentric lifts? You have to keep them up. So you have to train because otherwise they go away? Or is it are you training there because you want to build muscle? Which one is it?
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here, and today I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about what's really the minimum exercises someone needs to actually be pretty jacked. Because a lot of people don't have a lot of time, and so I kind of thought about this a little bit, and I've always thrown these out there. These are kind of your basic exercises, and I say that, look, if you can't get to the gym and do...
See, this exercise is part of calisthenics, right? Pull-ups. See what that? It's part of the bodybuilding world. Dips and pull-ups are part of the bodybuilding world, but this is predominantly used in what they call calisthenics. So they have taken this out of bodybuilding and they say, hey, we're doing calisthenics. But in real bodybuilding, people understand how this works. They know how to use it properly. But the world today that we live in, they don't, I don't know, or this generation or whatever, they don't even know how to use it properly to get what they want out of it. At least the calisthenics guys do. But anyways, it's like the powerlifting. They took the big four out of bodybuilding, and then they made it into concentric lifts. There's no eccentrics there.
Anything else, like you said, there's 4, 5, 6 exercises you should do. And I change the list up from time to time. So I thought today would say, look, and I'm not saying this is all you ever need ever, because it's obviously not true. I probably do 15 different exercises a week personally. Pretty normal for me. But if I were to look at it and go, man, if someone just really didn't have that much time and they could only get to the gym, say 3 days a week for 20, 30 minutes, well, what would they do? I'd probably do push-pull legs. And realistically, yeah, you need 2 exercises. Do 3 sets of 2 exercises. I know people are like, well, that's crazy. 3 sets of 2 exercises. I know people are like, well, that's crazy. But if you pushed progressive overload on them, and let's say you were going through a really busy phase in your life, would you be okay?
Progressive overload what? Eccentric, concentric? What are you talking about? He doesn't even specify what he's talking about. It's a lot more complicated than that, bodybuilding, but he doesn't really, I don't know what he's talking about.
And would the average person be okay? And I think, yeah, if a person just couldn't dedicate that much time. And here's what I'm going to break down. I'll give you guys...
If a person couldn't dedicate that much time, okay, what are you training for? Do you want to get bigger and stronger, or do you just want to get better at lifting concentrically, these weights, lifting them concentrically? Do you want to get better at doing them? Then keep doing them. Keep going in every single day to the gym. Go twice a day if you want. I don't know, start in the morning, go in the evening, who cares? You could go all day long lifting that. There's people in factories, construction sites, they lift concentrically all day. Their eccentric has adapted, so they're not getting any damage, so they're not building any muscle. So they're comfortable at lifting these things all day. See what I mean? But what is it doing for them exactly? Nothing. It accelerates aging. It wears them out. That's why they're all messed up in their old age. But, you know, let Blaha continue in this. Blaha doesn't do enough, though. He just does, like, I don't know, a 20-minute workout on this, 8-minute workout on this video here. That's it, 8-minute workout a day. I don't know if that's enough to really completely destroy him, but still going every day, lifting every day is crazy. But in eccentric exercise, if you're trying to get adaptations there, it can happen every day. It will never happen every day, ever.
Options. I kind of put the 6 in here plus some alternatives, you know, especially for things like the curl types. So kind of stuff like Martin Berkham used to say, like, look, you get good at squat, bench, deadlift, and chin-ups, you're in a good place. And I agree with that.
All you have to do is look at people's training and what they look like. You look at these calisthenics guys, what do they look like? Jacked. They look jacked. Why? Because a lot of the exercise is forced eccentrics. It has to be. There's a lot of eccentric work there. See what I mean? So they're jacked. and they are pretty strong. You have to admit they're pretty strong. People that climb have very strong grips. Why? Because they have to use their hands. And they're using their hands. There's a duration and intensity using their hands climbing there. That's a lot of body weight for your fingers to keep. You're using your fingers, and it's weighing down on your body weight's weighing down on your fingers. It's crazy. And you're moving your fingers a lot. So there's a lot of eccentric, concentric work going on. There's a lot of eccentric. Anyways, like I said, all you have to do is look at these people and see what they look like. Observe people like real bodybuilders. Look at power lifters. Look at these calisthenic guys. What do they look like? See what I mean? How do they perform? How do they perform? What do they look like? But again, bodybuilding is not a sport. See what I mean? It's not a sport. It's not a sport.
Again, not saying.
Again, here's another thing. Again, these calisthenics guys, they can only go so far, because that's why they add weight to the dips and things, to the pull-ups and dips, because they're trying to get more jacked. That's the reason they keep doing that. They try to get more jacked. But the problem is, they're pretty much adapted at this point. At some point, they get adapted. They're just not getting any more adaptations. Even they haven't figured it out yet. They have, how should I put it? They have adopted these exercises from bodybuilding, but they don't exactly, in the back of their mind, they're not really thinking how this works, why they're getting so jacked doing those things. But like I said, each to their own, bro. It's something you have to figure out. But bodybuilding is not a sport. It's not based on performance or endurance or any of this shit.
I'm promoting this. I'm telling you what could you get away with. So maybe a push day, I would do a flat bench and then a tricep extension. And notice the extension.
So people go to the gym and they lift concentrically and they say, I'm bodybuilding. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because bodybuilding is based on building your body. And what builds your body? Muscle. And what exercise predominantly builds muscle? Eccentric exercise. So these people going to the gym, comfortable lifting slaves, adapted to the eccentric, and they're trying to convince you that they're bodybuilding. Hey man, I'm going to the gym and I'm bodybuilding. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because if you were, you'd be getting bigger and stronger. But you're not getting bigger, therefore you're not getting stronger. See what I mean? You're just getting better at lifting concentrically because you just are. You're not really trying to bodybuild. You're pretend bodybuilding. That's why you have to, these people like Blaha got to make up all these excuses. Well, I'm gaining a pound a year. In 10 years, you should gain a pound every year. Or some weird numbers or some crazy shit they're talking about. They're just making up stuff.
Extension I do, I'll show you in here the extension I'm doing when I say that. I'm talking about.
If you think this is bodybuilding, what Blaha's doing, just because he's curling a bar, you have to be insane. All of you. This isn't bodybuilding. Just because you picked up a bunch of dumbbells and you started curling them, curling this bar, or whatever the fuck you're doing there, pressing this shit or something, that isn't bodybuilding. If you aren't building your body, then you aren't bodybuilding. Get it? So if you want to go and lift concentrically and get better lifting concentrically, don't try to convince people that you're bodybuilding and say that you have a newbie gain limit, genetic limit. Don't make up these phony things. Don't try to convince people of your stupidity. The people that are out there, oh, I'm a hard gainer, I'm genetic limit, I have a newbie gain limit. There's no such fucking thing. All of you people are making that shit up. You understand me? Because you're not bodybuilding. You're pretend building. You're pretending that the concentric is building. Concentric exercise. Do not build bodies, bro. Get it?
A laying extension where you take the bar behind your head so you get the long head. So if you did a flat bench
it's a hard pill to swallow for this. Look at this guy. Look at his physique, bro. Does he look like he's bodybuilding? But look, all you people are trying to say that Blaha has bad genetics. He does not have bad genetics. What he has is bad training. Concentric exercise isn't bodybuilding. Just because he's lifting a weight, that isn't bodybuilding. Duh. And him trying to reduce his body fat, aesthetic, is not bodybuilding. Listen to the word, aesthetic, bodybuilding. They don't sound the fucking same. So whatever he's doing here, this isn't bodybuilding. Because if he was bodybuilding, then he would be focused on building his body. But only eccentrics build bodies. You understand me? In bodybuilding, everything initiates with concentric. But we are not focused on concentric as bodybuilders. We're focused on the eccentric because that's what damage is. Muscle makes us bigger, therefore we become stronger. Get it, man? Get
exercise, that wouldn't be too bad, right?
That's why Blaha looks so weak. He looks weak. He thinks he's cool now because he lost a bunch of body fat. He got skinny. He's small. He's weak with these 13-inch arms. His tiny legs and calves. He's small. He has no shoulders. His chest is flat. And he has a wide waist. He tries to convince you when he walks around. But look at his waist to chest ratio. See what I mean? And he has no lats. There's nothing. Let him to ask coach to stand there and pose, do like a real bodybuilding pose, front to back, so he can show us what he looks like. See what I mean? He doesn't. You want to know why? Because he knows it'll show that he's never built his body. He looks like an ordinary guy.
You'd have triceps, you'd probably have a chest. Alternatively, I don't think I would go for a different tricep exercise if that's all you do. But could a person incline bench instead of a barbell? Yeah, now some people are going, well, I want to do dumbbells. No, you're only going to do one exercise. Dumbbells are not really going to get it done because you really do need to get decently strong. I don't think they make for a great primary. But for a main chest builder, flat bench or incline bench. Yeah, flat bench or incline bench. It would absolutely get the job done. And then do a tricep extension after. So even if that's all you could get done, you're like, man, I only got 20 minutes. Do 3 really hard sets of bench, close to failure. Or have a spotter help you do the last rep. 3 sets of really hard extensions, follow some progressive overload on those. Like I said, if flat bench isn't your jam, you could always do incline in there, right? You could always do some incline in there. And keep in mind, you guys see me throwing these weights around here. Keep in mind my age. Notice my beard is gray. I'm going to do rep work with 325 on a pause bench, right? Do rep work with 550 on a deadlift. Squat 500 pounds, right? But I digress.
I got a gray beard and everything. I'm around here lifting. I lift 500 pounds and all that. Who gives a shit? Who cares? He's crazy.
Back over to the point. Yeah, you could flat bench or incline.
Blaha is not bodybuilding. It's just waste of time. Again, I'm going to bring this up as an example. So there's an ant, right? And ants have 75% of their body is muscle. So ants can lift 10 times their body weight. Why? Because their body is made up of 75% muscle. Did they go to a gym to build that muscle? No. Do they practice at forced production so they can lift something heavy at a very low body weight so they can lift 10 times their body weight? Absolutely not. They're 75% muscle, therefore they can lift 10 times their body weight. Just like gorillas can bench press 4,000 pounds. They don't need to practice or nothing. They have a lot of muscle. So if you build more muscle, you will become more stronger. And you can even exude more kinetic energy. The bigger you are, the more kinetic energy people can feel your kinetic energy. When they see these big giants, like 7'5", 7'2", or 8 feet tall giant walking around, big people, even 6'8" or 10 or 11, 400 pounds, 500 pounds, 400, whatever, these big monsters walking around. They can literally feel the kinetic energy coming off them. It's emanating off them. But Blaha, I don't feel anything. I see weakness. When I look at his body and I see him, I see weak. I smell weakness. Get it? Weak.
I'm still going to lean in the direction of flat bench, but man, do I like the incline. I feel like the incline brings a lot to the table. So, I mean, even then, if we only did 2 chest exercises, that combination, flat bench and then some incline, yeah. All right, well, what about then for kind of a pulling day? Well, you need lat work. I'd say a pull-up and then a curl. Well, 1 or 2 types of curls. I lean in the direction of that barbell curl. But man, alternating dumbbell curls like this bring a lot to the table. Now for the pull-up, does it have to be a pull-up? No, it could be a chin-up. It could be a chin-up. I think a nice solid pull-up, overhand grip pull-up is going to give you a little bit more lat development. It just says me. I feel it hits my lats harder by a small margin.
Yeah, but it does absolutely nothing for his lats because he's adapted. He's just doing it for no reason. For entertainment purposes and voiceover on this channel. Again, he does the same exercise day in and day out, day in and day out. Same rep scheme, same set, completely adapted. Nothing's going on.
Alternatively, could someone do really heavy barbell rows in place of those two? Sure, it's possible. I don't think that would be unreasonable. I mean, a pull-up, a chin-up, a barbell row. I'm going to lean in the direction of the pull-up, though, mainly because you're going to have deadlifts anyways. So, I always tell people, if you can only do a few things for your back total, deadlifts and pull-ups. And it's not that say that rows are not better for overall, but pull-ups are going to give you more lap. And then the deadlift will fill in the gaps. Now in a perfect world, I'd do all three. I mean, so if someone really had a little more time, I could do pull up a row and then a curl. Now for curls, again, I think the straight bar curl is almost an essential exercise, especially if you have lagging biceps. Of course, you saw the way I do it, all the way down, all the way to the face, full range of motion. Here's the extensions I was talking about. This is what I mean. And yes, those are 45-pound plates on the bar. These behind the head extensions, where you're laying, you do a laying extension, but instead of lowering it to the face, you get it behind the head. That will get that long head of the tricep that gets missed a little bit on the bench, right? It's why you kind of almost need something like that to fill in the gap with the bench, okay? But pull-ups, though, for the pulling, absolutely. Pull-ups are king. I love pull-ups. But I said a chin-up would definitely get the job done. Might get better biceps out of it. And alternatively, if you're not strong enough to do either, you can certainly do a row. You do a bit of...
So look, man, he's picking 6 exercises. Most people will tell you 2 exercises. Well, 2 exercises, the dips and pull-ups. Okay, they're really good exercises. Okay, and there has to be one more because you forgot the legs. A jumping exercise, jumping down to the ground, is probably the best exercise. There you go. Anything that's eccentric is the best exercise. Let's just put it that way. Anything that's eccentric would be the best exercise for you. So yeah, but if I had to pick 6 exercises, probably be OHP. I don't know. Bench press, OHP, maybe a squat. Those are 3. Pull-ups, the dips, some back exercises, landmine, I don't know. Don't forget the calf muscles. Couple exercises, just a few. You don't need so many, but yeah.
Over barbell row. I didn't put any clips of that in here. But for the curl, I like that straight bar curl. But again, alternating dumbbell curls are pretty dang good. And they do get an extra function of the bicep. If you do them correctly, they're just as good.
How would he know? He's adapted to all these exercises. He's never experienced what it's like to actually build muscle. He's never built any.
So I definitely will get the job done, but you need to start in that hammer position and bring it all the way up to the face with the palm up into a supine position. But again, these sort of barbell curls, nice solid barbell curl, done for full range of motion. And this is really is a compound movement. It's not really a true isolation, because you think about the nature of this movement and that shoulder extension when you bring it up to the face. So we're working some extra muscles, but that's also necessary for maximum bicep activation. You need that movement, right? So then, what about lower body squats and deadlifts? And again, I'm not saying it's all you need. I would never want to avoid reverse hypers. I would always want reverse hypers. But if all you could do was squat and deadlift, if you didn't have a lot of time, yeah, you could come in. And notice that what I said in here could be done easy with the home gym.
Squat and deadlift. Yeah, bodybuilding deadlifts are better. And squats, eccentric squats, yeah. Providing you're doing it full range, yeah. I mean, squats, deadlifts, yeah. Bodybuilding style is better than doing just what he's doing, lifting and dropping.
If you have to. But squats and deadlifts, 3 sets of each, done once a week, still would give people more development than they get doing a lot of other stuff.
He's having a hard time lifting that weight up these days, isn't he? It's getting worse. It's getting harder and harder.
Right? Push some progressive overload on them. Do a good back squat. Do a conventional. When I say deadlift, I mean a conventional deadlift, right?
He's going to have to inject more strength.
like you're seeing me doing here, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's 550, 250 kg for those who don't use freedom units.
550. Blaha's doing 550. You know, you don't even know what Blaha's doing here in this gym. I mean, this garage or whatever they call it, whatever he wants to call it, gym, garage, whatever. Could be using fake weights. Maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows? Maybe he's just doing all this now fakely because it's a business. He's making money off of this stuff. He's trying to convince you he's bodybuilding. Meanwhile, he's a smartass. Don't worry. He's not that stupid. He only does like 1 or 2 or maybe 3 reps on this, and his squat is usually like 1 rep or something. And his exercises, look at them, they're frivolous. You know, he has all these machines, he has all this stuff, but the way he uses it, it's frivolous. The exercises are frivolous. If you can't really see that, then you have to be blind and not to see that Blaha is not really putting in any effort in anything that he does in here. Why? Because he takes steroids. Steroids are cosmetic. Just like Botox, I don't have to put work into my face and try to look young and eat good food and do all this when I could just inject Botox, get it? You understand me? Or why should I keep using this stuff to try to blow up my lips when I could just inject filler in my lips? You get the idea. Like people that inject synthol, they just inject synthol because they want to look retardedly weird. So Blaha, he takes steroids. Why? These influencers, they take steroids because their exercises are frivolous. They're not interested in that. They're interested in selling you something. He wants to sell you on a slot. He's got 3 slots open, doesn't he? He sells protein powders on his channel now, too. He's got Teespring. He's got some store. He sells shirts, mugs, or some bullshit. And he sells a bunch of protein powder now. And he's trying to sell you on this, whatever this is. But he's doing it. It's fake. It's kind of obvious, man. Come on. It's kind of obvious he's faking it. And then he keeps telling you got to build muscles, you got to do this rep, got to do that. But he doesn't do any of what he says. See, that he doesn't do anything what he says. I'm not saying he doesn't do this heavy lift here off the floor, what he says. He does that. That is to brainwash you slaves out there, get it? To perform. He's performing for you. This is performance. And then he knows visually when you see that, you're like, oh yeah, 550. He lifted off the ground, 550. See what I mean? But look at it's all bullshit because he injected something to lift that weight.
But yes, if you only did those 6 exercises, you could probably get reasonably thick. You could get it all done. And this is the sort of thing that I tell people.
Yes, you could get relatively thick doing all these exercises. But how would he know if he's never gotten thick? How would he know any of these things? Like you're gonna listen to a guy that has 13.5-inch arms, and he's gonna tell you how to get 20-inch arms. How? He's never got it. He's never gotten there. He has no experience. You understand me? Now, as far as his experience getting fat, yeah, you could learn off of him how to get fat and then how to get skinny again. He was the cause of it, that getting fat and then he got skinny. You understand me? So what exactly are you learning there? What exactly?
That if you're in a situation in life, a period of time to where you really can't get more than, say, 20 minutes in 3 times a week, 30 minutes, you could fall back to something like this for a bit.
Before I lost my old channel, I tried as best as I could before COVID started because I kind of started my channel late and then, the COVID thing kind of showed up and I had some issues and stuff, you know what I mean? I had some kind of problems. But I tried the best on my old channel. I did like sarcoplasmic training, try to show you how big you could get, look like a massive bodybuilder, this, that, whatever. I tried to show as many different things as I could, but you could only do so much, right? And now I got this channel. It's not like, man, I don't know. Maybe I will. I have to remonetize my channel so I can get a private section and do private stuff on there for people, because people have been inquiring. Look, I have some clients for running. I got them from my old channel, runners, okay? I still deal with running people still. I have actual clients, but I do bodybuilding, bro, get it? And I don't have one client on my channel. I don't have any clients for bodybuilding, except for one guy that wrote me and said he's a client of mine. Well, I mean, he could say he's a client of mine from my channel, right? But I don't, he's not really my client. Like, I don't charge him money or anything like that. He just is following what I'm talking about. But I have actual real clients that are runners, professional running people. You understand me? That's totally different. And I do bodybuilding. Can you imagine? They came to my channel, discovered I talked about how to get faster in running using eccentrics. And so they wanted to be my client. They want to contact me. I have people occasionally I have people trying to contact me. They want to they want to get in contact with me because they want to be a client or something. And the truth is, I don't take on clients. See what I mean? But probably if I remonetize my channel, I might make something, I don't know, maybe I'll make something private there and then I'll put something up for private members, a private member type of thing. That's probably the best way to do it. You can do training stuff, talk about stuff, and do training stuff to show people. And then, each week you just keep updating it, for people, for clients, kind of like clients that are part of your that program. They pay for it and whatever. See what I mean? You don't have to charge arm and a leg for because here's the thing, to take on each client by yourself is a lot of work. But if you make videos on it and each week you update it accordingly to these clients, well, that's much better. And you're not going to charge them an arm and a leg. It's affordable for people, that type of thing, just to get them going. But Blaha, yeah, you're not going to learn anything here from Blaha. It's just failure.
Still be okay, right?
If you want to do what Blaha's doing, lift a heavy weight, then inject what he's injecting, strength. And then do these frivolous exercises. And guess what? You'll look exactly like Blaha. You will look like Blaha if you do his exercises. Do you understand me? And take his drugs. Do whatever the fuck he's doing there. You will perform like him and you'll look like him. So is that what you want? I don't know.
It gonna be ideal? No. Are you gonna make the best gains possible? Not even close. But you'd still make gains. Person can still get pretty thick. They would still, at the very least, even if they're semi-advanced, they would maintain what they have. Okay. Right? They would maintain what they have for sure. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative.
You don't have to maintain real muscle if you have it. If you're faking it, then you have to maintain it. So you understand me? Glycogen muscles, they require maintenance, but not myofibular growth. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. This is ridiculous.